Dr. Gay Hendricks. For those of us who don't know, I would love to dive straight into this concept that you coined, the upper limit problem. We call it the alt at home here, and we use it freely. I know you ask this a lot, but I would love for you just to explain in your own words what it means.
Yes, the upper limit problem is the tendency to sabotage ourselves when things start going better.
Mhm.
It's as if we have a built-in upper limit on how much positive energy we can feel, how much love, how much money we can make, how much of a contribution we can make. Early programming puts these limiting beliefs in our heads about how much love we can experience or how much success we can experience. So later on in life, what happens is things start moving better for you. You start learning some things, but then up come these old limiting beliefs from the past and pull you back down. So, what the book The Big Leap is all about, as you know, is all about how to spot those upper limits and what they're based on and how to clear them up so you can live in your genius zone all the time. And The Big Leap was about how to get into your genius zone. And the new book, The Genius Zone, is about how to live there 24 hours a day.
Oh, the genius, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that. One thing that I wanted to share with you is when I was reading The Big Leap the first time, I was on vacation in Miami, where I live now with my husband, and life was good in that moment. Work was good. We were having a great time. We just ordered lunch, and there was nothing to complain about in that moment. And I just picked a fight.
Yeah, that's the upper limit problem.
Oh my gosh. And I was reading the book and I'm like, I know this is true. The words that I'm reading immediately. And then I had an idea that we should be doing maybe something else that day. We shouldn't just be lounging around the pool. We should be active vacationers. And Heath, my husband, was like, what's wrong with you? Like, we're having a good time. And I'm like, it's as simple yet insidious and invisible as that.
Yes, it is. It's like a glass ceiling that you don't notice until you bump up against it. And
Mm-hmm.
the interesting thing about it is that in my own case, I found this in myself when I was, probably now 30, 35 years ago. I started noticing my own tendency to upper limit myself. The first thing I noticed, I was overweight at the time and I was trying to lose some weight. And I would be on my diet, really do well for about 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was almost like I unconsciously would kind of go into a trance and eat a whole bunch of things that weren't good for me. And then, I'd lose a pound or two over the few days, and then zip, I'd gain it all back. And so I started, why am I doing that? And I realized ultimately, and it's a realization that has kept the weight off me ever since, is that I had some kind of upper limit on how good I could allow myself to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I imprinted that at an early age because every time I got to a place of feeling really good, I would do something to mess it up. And I noticed at the same time, I this was in my pre-Katie days before I met my wife, and my girlfriend and we would get along well for a few days or sometimes even a week or two, and then one of us would pick a fight and there it would go, and then we would down into a spiral for a few days, and then it would take us a while to get out of it. I've never been one that could just snap out of it. It sort of takes me some healing time after I've been in a big domestic drama of some time.
Yes.
And so I started noticing that, and that's when I began to call it the upper limit problem. And fortunately, at the same time, I was doing a lot of therapy work with some really brilliant people that were being sent to me. And at the time, I was just coming out of Stanford, where I got my PhD, and I was still working there in the Bay Area for a year before I went out to Colorado to take a professor job out there in the counseling psychology department. And I was working with a lot of these high tech executives that were in those early companies that are now huge companies like Hewlett Packard and Intel. At the time in the 1970s, they were just kind of getting underway, but they had these most brilliant people. And in therapy, I discovered one after the other, they would have a big breakthrough and something would go well at work. Then they'd go home that night and have a huge blowout argument with family.
Yes.
Why is that? So that's when I started really looking into where the upper limit problem comes from and particularly how we can fix it.